Yo people, welcome back to the channel. So Manny Pacquiao is targeting Errol Spence Jr. and Conor McGregor for his next fight set to take place this year. It looks as though Pacquiao would prefer McGregor as his next opponent, as he said, "Crawford and Spence are options, but right now I want to experience fighting a mixed martial artist." And Pacquiao had some critical words for Errol Spence after his victory against Danny Garcia, saying, "Spence is too slow. Spence is slower than Furman, but it's going to be a good fight." So I mean, there's some pretty harsh words from Pacquiao, especially considering, he said Spence is slower than Furman, and Furman is the last opponent that Pacquiao faced in 2019, who he defeated by split decision to become the WBA Super World Welterweight Champion. But I mean, everyone's got slow hands compared to Manny Pacquiao, right? So, of course he's going to say something like that. But I mean, Keith Thurman's resume compared to Errol Spence Jr.'s resume isn't too different, to be fair. They've got a lot of common opponents, such as Danny Garcia and Sean Porter, who they've both defeated. So, Pacquiao, maybe he isn't too off by believing that they're a similar level. But I think Errol Spence Jr., in terms of talent, may have a slight advantage over the likes of Keith Thurman, and therefore would give Manny Pacquiao an even closer fight than Keith Thurman did. But it looks from my perspective as though Pacquiao is likely to fight Conor McGregor next. McGregor has been talking in recent days about his desire to return to the ring and even challenge for a boxing world title. And surprise, surprise, the WBC and president Mauricio Suleiman felt like sticking their nose in, suggesting that they would allow Conor McGregor to fight for a real world title if he defeated one ranked WBC fighter. So Manny Pacquiao versus Conor McGregor could be a feasible next fight for Pacquiao, especially if, say, McGregor decides to fight a ranked fighter in the WBC or maybe even the WBA, because Pacquiao holds the WBA belt. And if he beats them, because there's, in the top 15 of these sanctioning bodies, there are certain opponents that are quite weak compared to, obviously, the top sort of top 5 ranked opponents. In terms of the top 15, some of the fighters aren't that great. So Conor McGregor could possibly beat one of those guys and then fight Manny Pacquiao for the title. You don't know. But I think that's what Pacquiao wants next. That's the big money fight. That's the fight that's going to put him in the limelight. So I would think that Pacquiao McGregor would be next. But if that doesn't happen, then it will likely be Errol Spence Jr. versus Manny Pacquiao. And if that doesn't happen, then maybe Pacquiao retires. Or maybe he fights Terence Crawford. But we'll have to wait and see. Personally, I want to see the Manny Pacquiao Errol Spence Jr. fight next. Leave a comment below expressing who you think would win that fight between Pacquiao and Errol Spence. I think maybe the youth of Errol Spence will help him in winning a close decision in that fight. But I mean, talking about the McGregor-Pacquiao fight, that's not really a fight I'm interested in. I think it would be very one-sided. I think Pacquiao would take McGregor apart. I think Manny Pacquiao has the kind of style which is more aggressive than the likes of Floyd Mayweather, obviously. So I think the fight would be a little bit different to the Mayweather-McGregor fight. And I think Pacquiao would probably get Conor McGregor out of there a little bit earlier, possibly. Because these guys are at the elite level, the likes of Manny Pacquiao, and Conor McGregor is not even a boxer. So it would be some achievement if he could even last the distance with Pacquiao, in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Pacquiao McGregor would be in any way a competitive fight? Maybe I'm wrong. Listen, I'm not always right. So, you guys tell me what you think in the comments below. Like the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And remember to turn on post notifications to stay notified whenever I upload a new video.